Pictures up.
Pictures up.
Pictures up.
Let's roll sound.
Rolling.
Rolling.
Sound speeds.
Camera speeds. 2. Asham. Take 2. Mark.
Set. And action.
Welcome to the Penn Cinema Podcast, your behind-the-curtain connection for movie news and reviews. Now here are your hosts, Penn Ketchum and David Moulton.
Welcome to the show. I am David Moulton.
And I'm Penn Ketchum.
What's
up? You happy, Tony?
Yeah, Tony.
Tony
Balone.
coming at me?
Yeah, who does he think he is?
More on that later in the show.
Yeah.
Come on.
Man, so we're at the top of the news this week. Welcome to the show. And Penn,
Yeah.
some crazy things happened this week.
Talk to me.
And you were featured in an article.
Featured.
Yeah. And I'm like, someone light a fire under his pants?
Right.
As opposed to the actual fire in your basement?
Right. Right.
You want to talk about that? What happened?
No, I don't want to talk
You don't
about
wanna talk
that.
about
I want
that?
to talk about being in Variety, though.
Oh.
Featured is a strong word. I'm not sure. So, but
The first like 2 paragraphs are you.
It is. It is
Yeah.
pretty cool. Like, so what happened was Variety magazine, I mean, pretty big deal publication,
Yeah.
called me.
It's no GQ. But,
No,
yeah,
obviously.
whatever.
It's no Gamers Today.
It's the Sun.
The Sun, right. Variety called me to do an interview about, I like how my books is still at 0. Variety called me to do an interview. They called Regal, they called AMC, they called all the big players to comment on basically like the state of the industry over the last couple of years, you know, and sort of what direction it's going and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And we had a lengthy, almost a half an hour conversation. And side note, I was in the car at the time, and in the car with me was my generational expert, AKA Dr. Ketchum.
Whoa.
Yeah. So Amy was in the car with me, and we put her on record. And she shared some really interesting insights into the movie-going habits of Generation X, Y, and Z, and who are the millennials, and all this kind of stuff. The anxious generation, the digital generation, you know, all this kind of stuff. Her insights were so fascinating that I was worried that I wasn't going to make the story. I was like, why would you quote me with my usual drib, whatever, you know? Why would you quote me when you have this fascinating insight from Dr. Ketchum? Well, anyway, the reverse happened and she wasn't quoted in the story, which was kind of a bummer. But anyway, so they did this story about the industry, and the first couple paragraphs was from our interview.
And like all good articles, it also circles back around to you at the end.
Yeah.
And there is some stuff that now you say that it was clearly inspired by Amy.
Yeah.
In the article as well.
Everything I say is inspired by
the whole thing.
The whole
Unlike
thing?
some books that other people try to read.
Well, it was pretty cool because I was telling someone else, everybody sees headlines, and a lot of people see the headline and that's it. And then some people, if the headline is remotely interesting, they might read the first couple sentences, and then that's it. And then there's a small amount of people who read the entire article, like you. You're a good reader. Yeah. But anyway, that's why it was so exciting for me to be in the first couple paragraphs.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
that's awesome.
You know, wow, that's pretty neat. And it's especially cool for me because we're going into CinemaCon. So it's kind of a fun time to be like high profile. Like Penn Cinema Lidditz is at the top of the DMA. Like we're doing really well. We're #1 in the country on the #6 movie, Great Awakening. Which shout out to Sight and Sound. They're killing it with this movie. I mean, it's just not letting up. It's amazing. So we're, you know, I'll just jump ahead. I'll segue into CinemaCon.
Well,
Oh, okay.
I got some more questions about the article. What kind of turnaround was this?
A week.
Okay, that's not bad.
10 days, something like that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is this going to be in print or just was it online?
I don't know.
Okay.
I hope it's going to be in print because I think that would be super cool.
Gotta get that framed.
They did not take a picture of me. That's why I was telling.
They knew.
I was telling.
Hold up. Hold up.
I was telling somebody I was featured in the article, and I said, no, it's not at all featured because I don't think you can say you're featured unless they put a picture of you. Unless, and I'll go a step further and say, unless they send a photographer. Like I've been in stories for other print publications, and they send a photographer to take a picture of you. And that to me is like, that's legit.
Now, do you think this is a bigger or slightly dwarfed media achievement opposed to the time that you were on a news article about my old podcast, The Langcast? Like,
It's splitting hairs, David.
Yeah,
It's splitting hairs.
who knows?
I will say one other funny thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to say his name, but you can look it up. The guy who wrote the article, like, we really hit it off. Like, it felt like we were on the phone for at least a half an hour. So I sent him an email just the other day. Hey, great article. Thanks a lot. I shared it with my parents. You know, it's really cool. And by the way, I'm going to be out at CinemaCon. I wonder if you're going to be out there. Would you like to get lunch together or get a coffee or, you know, something like that? I'd love to meet you in person and, you know, get to know you and be your friend.
And hug.
Not so much.
And he was like, new email, who dis?
Right, exactly. There was a lot of crickets. I'm sure he's just, you know, wanting to make sure I don't know. Why would you want to have lunch with me if you're a big shot reporter,
Like,
you know?
I already put him in an article. What more does
Right,
this guy
exactly.
want? What more does he want?
Well, the funny thing is, I was briefly quoted in another Variety article like a year ago. I didn't even mention it because it was like a passing quote deep in the story. And that was written by a different author. So now I'm thinking I might reach out to her and see if she wants to get So anyway, yeah, so we're heading out to CinemaCon.
Okay, yeah.
Drew and I are both going.
Now, what was the catch last year? The bar had to make X amount of money in order for me to come this year. Was that it? There was something. There was some sort of something. I'm just assuming we didn't make it since I didn't get a notification that I should go pack my bags.
Right. Get your swim trunks out.
We're going to Vegas. Not for David this year.
Yeah, I forget what that was. I forget what that metric was.
Oh, wow. Such a convenient forget.
Yeah. See, sometimes being forgetful has its advantages. I'm sorry. Did I ever tell you one time Amy told me not to weaponize my bad memory?
It's a good thing you didn't forget that.
That's how you know you're married 30 years. When somebody says, don't weaponize your bad memory. But the great thing is, after she coined that phrase, I turned it around on her like a couple weeks later. She did something, and I was like, don't weaponize your love of pottery.
Come on.
All right.
So tell me about CinemaCon. What's up? What's going on?
I mean, I don't
It's
know.
like a week and a half or 2
no,
weeks?
it's 5 days, and it's super exciting because day one I'll be with all the independent theater owners, and day two is a big Cinema United stuff, and then the rest of the days are with studios. And I'm going to A24 and Regal are co-hosting a big lunch and learn, which I'm actually really excited because the guy who's on the panel from Regal was on that strategic planning committee that I was on in Dallas. Remember I went to that? I thought he was really smart and super impressive, so I signed up right away as soon as I saw that email. And of course, we like A24, so yeah. So I got that. I'm excited about that. Going to a cocktail party with Lionsgate, having a coffee with my Paramount rep. Now I will tell you this. As you know, historically, all the studios were based on the East Coast, and then sometime it started in the early aughts.
Oh. Look at you.
I still think that's a made-up word, but I know you like it, so I like to use it around you.
It's real.
No,
it's the real deal.
It's a fake David Moulton word.
It's the real deal.
David likes to talk about things from the early 2000s so that he can say the early aughts.
You know, look, just to alleyway tangent here. I got told last week I seemed really snooty and uppity with you, and I just want to say, deserved.
Right. Can I take a stab at that? Who told you that? It's a shady lady?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
Right.
it came from, let's just call
that's
them
fine.
other people.
Yeah, other people. Because that's the kind of thing a mom would say.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. This was during an all-inclusive dog down on David moment.
Oh, perfect.
And the one guy was
I love
like,
that.
let's just call him Coldplay. The one guy was like, You had it really out for me the other day, and it almost felt like it wasn't funny that you were coming at me. And I'm in my brain like, I don't remember talking to him that day. And so I'm like, if I'm supposed to feel guilty, I don't really feel anything.
Yeah. I'm just cold inside.
I'm weaponizing my bad memory.
Right. Perfect.
Anyway.
Oh my God. What were we talking about?
CinemaCon and something. Do you know what movies you're going to see?
We were talking about early aughts.
Oh, yeah.
Sometime around the late early aughts, aka the teens,
Those aren't aughts.
studio distributors, because as we know, not to beat a dead horse, but I like our audience to be informed, you have the production company that makes the movies, and then you have the company that distributes the movies, which is called the distributor. That's who I deal with every week. And then you have the exhibitors, which is us. So the distributors, for years, as long as I can remember, had offices in New York City. Apparently, before my time, they even had offices like in Miami and Philly and Boston. And before my time, it all got condensed to New York City. And then bit by bit, it all got condensed to Los Angeles. And it was only a handful of left. Disney, A24, a couple smaller ones, and Sony.
Yeah.
And we just found out the other day that Sony has closed their New York City offices.
Really?
Yeah. So my lunch with all the Sony team,
Ooh.
they all got laid off. Sucks.
Well, you can still go to lunch. Like, don't starve yourself.
No, I'm having lunch at Paramount. I mean, I'm just saying.
So all right, back to my question.
Right.
Do you know what movies you're going to get to watch?
I do not.
It's one of those things that you get there and you're just like,
Yeah.
I can make this one, I can make that one.
So I think we're seeing what was that one? The trailer we watched the other day, the animated Forgotten Island or Forgotten Treasure.
Yeah,
whatever that
Forgotten
is.
Island
Forgotten Island. I think that is on. I think that was announced. But mostly what they do nowadays, it's less screenings and it's more like a studio. Excuse me, studio has a slate, so they will have the show, the Coliseum stage, like at 1 p.m. And the head of the studio will come out and welcome everybody and then announce like their 6 or 7 upcoming titles. And with each title, they'll show you a clip or show you a trailer. And then after the trailer, the star of the movie comes out on stage and everybody screams, "Oh my God, it's Ryan Gosling!" Yeah, exactly. And then they like do their bit and honestly, it feels a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
A little awkward. But that's fine.
All right. Well, while you're at CinemaCon, I'll be here at HomeCon.
Yeah. David.
But we should add, there will be, because of CinemaCon, there won't be a show next week.
Right.
But we'll be back to regular studio programming the following week.
Right.
When Penn comes back from his vacation.
And David will report on HomeCon.
Yeah, on HomeCon. Boy, will there be things to say.
Oh, boy. Real quick before I turn the news over to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what's happening in our building right now? Right now, as we speak, people are filing in. Believe it or not, this is a first. People are filing into the building.
Hold up. This building?
This building.
For the first time?
First time.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
People are filing into this building not to attend a movie or a special event or a lecture or a concert or a dance presentation
or a podcast
or a comedy routine or a podcast, all of which has been done. We've had all of those. Birthday parties, everything. Today, there's a beautiful couple in Theater 10 saying their vows and having an actual wedding in the building.
What does that look like?
We did it once in Ephrata when we ran the new main.
Okay.
We had a wedding in there. That was beautiful. And now they have a wedding right now, literally as we speak. Well, they probably haven't taken their vows yet. So it's not too late.
It could be. Let's not draw the conclusions.
If you see a bride running through the parking lot, you know. Anyway, I thought that was super cool. So shout out to them.
Do they like dress up the auditorium or anything?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it looks beautiful. It looks like a...
Do you use your red carpet?
No. And shut up for for suggesting things that we didn't think of.
All right. Moving on to less marital news. It turns out that Marvel was not married. See how I connected the dots there?
Is that a Marvel? I thought it was Sony.
Well, Sony owns, it's Marvel.
Okay.
Spider-Man's Marvel.
Okay.
Marvel was not married to the current cut of Brand New Day, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Apparently at screenings, the notes were that it was much too dark and not funny enough. So Spider-Man Brand New Day has gone back for reshoots specifically to add comedy to the movie. I don't think that's a bad thing. Spider-Man is a character that quips all the time. Like,
Right.
That's like his thing.
Right. Remember the first time Tom Holland was Spider-Man in Avengers?
Yeah.
And they had that big fight scene, and Robert Downey Jr. or Tony Stark was like, "We don't usually talk this much during fights."
And he's like, this reminds me of that old movie. Was Star Wars?
That was great.
Yeah.
All right, so you're cool with this. You're cool with the reshoots.
I'm fine. It's not it. I would be concerned if they were like they're tightening the story or something like that. But because if they're inserting jokes, they can take jokes out. You know what I mean?
Here's what I hope.
Yeah.
And because they have such a good track record, I'm going to say it differently. Here's what I assume. I assume that that they shot the movie and it was like this long, and they were like, "Oh, it's got to be this long,
Yeah.
right? Can't be 40 seconds. It's got to be like 30 seconds,
Yeah. Like
right?
Someone would say that.
Right. Someone would say that. So they cut it down, and then they're like, "Well, wait a minute. It's 30 seconds, great, but it's not funny enough." So I'm hoping that of course, there's some reshoots. I mean, it says there's reshoots, but I also hope that there's like some stuff that.
Well, it could have been a joke didn't work. And
That's
they're like,
what I'm saying.
Let's just replace this. Like, just make this joke better.
Right.
Yeah. Which you mean could just be a pie to the face, or
Yeah,
that'd
be great.
Someone listening to the Pen Cinema podcast and having a good time.
Right.
Like,
I
That's
think
hilarious.
can we announce on the show what we did before we started the
I
show?
mean, yeah. You want to do it? We recorded a bumper for movies.
It's called a policy clip.
Policy clip.
The bumper is what's in the policy clip.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so basically, it's Penn and I telling people, "Hey, turn off your phones."
I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, I think it works out.
So we're like, take care and party on, but David says party on, and I say turn off your phones, and then we do like a little bit.
Do a little bit.
So you have that to look forward to when you come out this summer to see Devil Wears Prada or Michael.
And you'll know it's from this episode because we're wearing the same clothes.
Right. So you'll be in the know. Like our real listeners, our real fans who are listening right now, they'll be in the know. And then there's going to be someone who sees that and is like, "Oh, I didn't know they had a podcast." And then they start watching it.
Right. They'll be like, "I wonder what." They probably didn't record that right before an episode.
Right.
That would be crazy.
Right.
Turns out,
Yeah.
we're just that kind of crazy.
All right. One last news item.
Yeah.
Tickets for Dune have already gone on sale. True or false?
True.
Sort of.
Question mark?
So Dune is being released 70 millimeter and also being released normal,
Right.
AKA good.
8 months from now.
Right, 8 months from now.
Yeah.
Tickets for Dune have gone on sale for the 70 millimeter shows and have apparently
In IMAX specifically.
in IMAX. 70 millimeter, almost by definition, is only in IMAX.
Okay.
I'm sure that somewhere there's some projection system that can run a 70 millimeter film that's not IMAX, but I've never heard of one.
It was 35 millimeter for.
So a regular normal movie is 35 millimeter.
Yeah.
What makes IMAX cool is it's twice as big, and we have a clip of it over there for real size. So anyway, for some reason, the people whose pinkies are permanently out,
Yeah.
or as David would say,
Whoa, you did it.
I did it. I've been practicing all week.
I bet.
The people whose pinkies are out like to go see 70 millimeter films. I think it's mostly so they can say they saw it in 70 millimeter.
This is basically like Nick Landis playing already.
And Simon.
And Simon.
Yeah, and Owen.
Owen.
Remember Owen?
Yeah. Saw him the other. He's still around, right?
Owen, what, why, and how. He still works here. We
I
see him
saw
from
him the
time
other
to time. But he, I guess he's too busy with his own show to write in.
He's a popular guy.
Yeah, big guy.
Yeah.
Big shot. He's not as big as Big O.
No. And it's just funny because he's short.
He's a little guy.
Yeah.
It's funny, that's why I call him Big O.
Yeah,
It's funny
yeah.
because he's little.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so whatever. Who cares? Dune is sold out. Now, I will say, I was approached in the lobby twice this week. This is related to Dune, but also going to Doomsday. I was approached twice in the lobby this week by somebody who heard that Avengers is moving to December 11th. Which means absolutely nothing, but I'm just saying the energy is out there.
Now, here's a bigger question. When are you going to put Dune 3 tickets on sale?
Not anytime soon.
Right, it's way too far out.
Yeah, no, it'll be the fall.
What's the point of doing these IMAX?
It's just hype. It's just I don't want to talk about it.
So far out, it's like, what hype? Like you build the hype up and then it dies.
Yeah, I don't
then
want to talk
you got to
about
resurrect it again.
And how many people are going to lose their tickets between now and then?
Yeah, well, e-tickets and
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Forget about it.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
forget about it. I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Well, on that incredible downer for Penn.
It's not a downer. I'm just saying, it's frustrating for me when I disagree with stuff that the studios do because what I'm trying to do lately is to be a little bit of a grown-up. Trying to establish some coping skills that would result in me being a little more easygoing, a little more accepting of studios. You know the Serenity Prayer? Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Well, it has
They
taken...
said that in the movie Serenity.
It has taken me 20 years, but I'm starting to realize the difference, which is I cannot do anything about the studios acting like big, dumb companies because that's exactly what they are, which is fine. I mean, that's what they're there to make money for their shareholders, and dumb has a certain negative connotation with that word, but they're large, big conglomerates. They're massive organizations. And it doesn't matter what Penn Ketchum thinks of their release schedule, their booking decisions, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm trying to be a little bit more understanding, I don't even have to be understanding. I just need to be a little more accepting. Like when they do something that I think is short-sighted, I just need to be like, okay, well, that's what we're doing.
You just need to game the game and become a shareholder.
Right.
And then you're on both angles.
Joke's on you because I am a shareholder.
Whoa!
But nobody seems to care that I have over $20 invested.
Over $20?
Over $20.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the fit. That's all the news.
That's all the fit.
Fit.
And I'm Penn. Wait, what?
What?
You like that? That's the dribble. I call that the dribble. The crossover.
Wow. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Do you remember the week I did it with no headphones?
Yeah, it was
That was
insane.
cool.
I was like, how does he know?
Yeah.
The pace.
Been doing it for 331 episodes.
That's insane.
Yeah, I love
Would've
it. All right, this week, David, we have 5 trailers.
Yeah. It looks like one was removed, right?
Nope.
Maybe? No? Oh, okay.
4 of them are good. And one of them is a movie that's already been released a dozen times. They put a different title on the front of it and released it again.
What, really?
All right, let's start at the top.
Okay, let's so here's the problem with this week's trailers.
This is the problem with this week's trailers.
With Penn. 3 of the 5 trailers that were new this week, and I think maybe they're holding out for CinemaCon. 3 of the 5 new trailers are all final trailers, which means that this is the second to third time we've seen trailers for these movies. So they're not really, I think on a busier week where we had like 10 or 12 trailers or whatever, some of these I might have even left off the list. Maybe. It depends. I mean, when I watched each one of these, I watched them with the idea if this isn't actually anything new, I'm not putting it on here. But they all prove to have something.
Yeah. Well, the Devil Wears Prada one had a lot of new.
Yes.
But let's start at the top.
Okay. Number 1, the final trailer for Michael, which comes out next week?
April 24th.
Okay, 2 weeks.
That's the Michael Jackson biopic.
Yeah.
And I thought it looked great.
Yeah, I think
they're showing more and more of like concert footage. I mean, it's not real concert footage, but it's more and more of the guy playing Michael Jackson performing as Michael Jackson.
And the big difference between this and the last trailer, the last trailer was more like trying to pull your heartstrings on the story. Where, like you said, this one is more like trying to get people who know the music to want to see it.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
And I think that's smart.
I agree. As a trailer, though, I think it's just fine.
It's just fine.
Yeah.
Next up, we have The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Okay.
This is the final trailer, and this is the trailer. When I watched this trailer, I was like, "Oh, this trailer is great. The movie looks great."
Yeah.
For our listeners, to remind our listeners, David and I like to talk about how the movie looks great, but also like how well done the trailer is. Mm-hmm. I learned that from David. That making trailers there's a skill to it.
It's an art form.
It's an art form. So I would say this is an incredibly effective trailer. It's a well done trailer. And what it does is it shows a little bit of the element to the storyline, because the first few trailers were basically like,
Remember the first one?
remember the first one? Here's these characters you loved,
Yeah.
and they're back. And even Stanley Tucci's back. Dig it,
Yeah.
And so now this final trailer reveals that Anne Hathaway is essentially doing publicity for The Devil Who Wears Prada, and chaos ensues, and Stanley Tucci's in it again. And am I missing any big beats?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. This was good. I watched this and I thought, ooh, this could be my trailer of the week.
Is it?
No.
Interesting.
What do you think my trailer of the week is?
The next. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
ours are going to be.
It has to be.
Ours are going to
Yeah.
be lined up on this
Yeah.
one. Next up, we have our trailer of the week, The Invite from A24, starring my favorite actor of all time, Edward Norton, as well as Penelope Cruz, right?
Yeah.
And Seth Rogen, and it's directed and stars Olivia Wilde.
Right.
This looks crazy. And basically, the premise here is that Olivia Wilde and Seth Rogen live in an apartment, and they invite their neighbors who live next to them and up one floor. This is Edward Norton and Penelope Cruz, who can see into their apartment all the time because they don't have curtain up. And they invite them over for dinner, and they get propositioned for some adult time together. And
Some sexy time?
some sexy time.
Yeah.
And it's like awkward comedy ensues. Also, maybe not always comedy, and maybe some intense drama.
Right. And it's from A24, and it comes out in July. But here's what I was going to say. I feel like there's another layer to be revealed.
Yes.
Yeah, there has to be,
Yeah.
right?
Because it seems like the people they invite over are they proposition with the sex thing, but then like, are they going to kill them, or are they
Right.
stalkers? Or?
And are we we're not positive. It's alluded to, but I don't think it's confirmed that it's a sex thing. It could be like, so the four of us are going to kill someone? The four of us rob a bank?
Yeah.
You, her, and me? Like,
And
so-
definitely me.
and definitely me. And you're very much led to believe that it's a sex thing, and it probably is.
Right.
But I'm just saying the possibility exists
That it's something else.
that it's something else. And for sure, there's got to be another twist to it, because A24 is just too good to play it straight like that, I think.
Right.
All right, so our trailer of the week is called The Invite, starring Seth Rogen, Olivia Wilde, Penelope Cruz, and David's all-time favorite actor, Edward Norton.
Yeah.
So, is Fight Club your all-time favorite movie? No. What's your favorite movie with Ed Norton?
My favorite movie with Edward Norton is The 25th Hour.
Yeah, obviously. Next up, we have yet another Jason Statham movie.
Yeah.
Comes out in August. It's from our friends at Lionsgate. And it looks like every other Jason Statham movie that they've ever made.
It looks delightfully like every other Jason Statham movie ever made. Look, Penn, when I go to see a movie that's action-based and not story-based, there are a few things I look for, right? I want the guy to be vaguely European, right? Undeterminedly where, but he's got an accent. He must be buff, but not so buff that I'm not like, that could never be me, right? And he also has to have a history of choosing very attractive women to talk to over you. Those are the things.
Over Penn Ketchum.
Yeah, over Penn Ketchum. Yeah. Those are the things that I look for in my action stars. And this one fits all those bills.
Oh my God, David, this checks all the boxes.
It does.
It's a winner.
It does.
Yep, awesome. It's called Mutiny, and it stars Jason Statham as a renegade saving human trafficking cargo ship. I mean, I will say, okay, so let me just get down off my high horse. It does look like fun because the whole thing takes place on a cargo ship.
Right. They were like, what set piece can we get that's really inexpensive?
Right. So it's the thing I would go watch this movie for is to see Jason Statham climbing up the side of the ship. Like that was a pretty cool shot. I'll go watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our final trailer this week is Mortal Kombat 2, the final trailer. This had some new stuff in it. I think my favorite part of this, like this movie is going to be dumb as hell, but it's going to be, if you like Mortal Kombat or you grew up with Mortal Kombat, I think it's visually going to be a feast of Mortal Kombat action.
Get over here.
Over the top CGI blood and stuff. But my favorite part of this was the guy, because in the previous movie and stuff they established, you go to this place and you develop your chi or some sort of whatever, and then you have like some sort of, like in the game, you have a power. And some guy's like, now would be a real great time to use your powers. And Johnny Cage is like, my power is, I'm Johnny Cage. And he just puts his sunglasses on, which is so over the top.
Right.
I was like, yeah.
Right. I wish I had thought in advance to like have sunglasses ready.
Yeah. If only you had a top hat though.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. What? Who would have thought? Have you ever just worn that casually?
Oh my God, that's a great idea.
Just next time you're going to something that's not crazy serious, just stroll in and don't.
No comment.
No comment.
How about I wear it on the plane to CinemaCon?
Perfect. And it's better if you wear it like with this outfit,
Right.
not like something that fits that.
Right, not a suit. Yeah.
I love it.
All right.
All right. Well, that's all the trailers this week. What is your trailer of the week? Let us know. Podcast@pencinema.com. Ours was The Invite.
Which I was happy. This is the first I've ever heard of this movie.
Yeah.
But you don't have to wait too long. It comes out in July.
Yeah, it's real quick.
Which is like in 5 minutes.
Yeah. I wonder if that's because they didn't want whatever this twist is to have to come out.
Oh my God. If they screen this at CinemaCon.
You want to watch it?
Oh my God. Yes.
All right.
All right.
You come back with your spoilers?
Yeah, I will big time.
All right.
I'll be texting you, David, this movie's awesome. You suck.
You'll never guess the big twist.
Right.
Spider-Man. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
All right, so let's move on to our movie this week. We watched The Drama when normally we are The Drama.
Word.
When I told LOL Jamie, I said, you going to come watch The Drama this week or what? She said, who? What? What's going on? Who's The Drama? And I said, no, that's the movie.
Yeah.
Penn, you've got the kind of I didn't watch this movie grin on your face. So tell me more
Tell you more about the
about
movie?
this movie that I'm sure you watched.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So there's a bride and groom. Right. The bride is played by Zendaya.
Ooh.
The groom is played by Robert Pattinson. And they go to premarital counseling.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
it takes a turn, takes a horrible turn for the worse. One thing leads to another. They get in a big fight. That's why he has a black eye in the poster, right? They get in a big fight, but then there's some friends of theirs who they have dinner with.
Yeah.
And she confesses that when she was little, she snuck snacks into a movie. And they're all like, oh my God, we can't still be friends.
Yeah, you're horrible.
Because when you were little, you snuck snacks in. And she was like, but wait, you have to understand the context.
She's like, think of the expedition.
I lived with my dad, who at the time had a lot of concessions when I was growing up. So I became infatuated with Twizzlers.
Yeah.
And I snuck them into movies all the time, but then I realized it was wrong. So I joined like a protest group to protest people bringing snacks into the theaters. And I threw all my dad's Twizzlers in the lake. I threw them in the pond because I didn't want anyone to have them. You
had me going for a little bit there. But now I'm pretty sure you've seen the movie.
That was a pretty good.
That was pretty
good. It's pretty good. Yes, I did see the movie. I thought it was great. It was one of those movies that gave you a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Like in a good way. It wasn't over the top, like preachy or hard to, like to listen to or heavy or anything like that. Yeah. Although what it reminded me the most of is
well, let's just say spoilers.
Big time spoilers.
Right. So we can talk about it. Yeah. All right. So spoilers. All right, go ahead.
Do you remember? I know that I told you this because I wouldn't just sneak this past you. But a few years ago, Amy and I saw Chris Rock.
Yeah.
And he did a whole bit about selective outrage and how we as a culture are choosing to get outraged over this, that, and the other thing, but then we're letting this, that, and the other thing over here slide, and we're not, applying our outrage to everything that it should be applied to. Yeah. And this movie kind of reminded me of that. And I thought that was most exemplified by the friend from Licorice Pizza,
yes,
the actress, because she kind of goes off the deep end. And then, this Zendaya is awful. She's the worst thing. What was her name? Emma?
Yeah.
Yeah, Emma's worst thing that ever happened. And I can't believe that she did this, which, by the way, she did not actually do. She thought about it. But I felt like it was an interesting commentary. The friend, to me, represented like an interesting commentary on selective outrage. And the main character seemed to me to be an interesting study on what we all on different levels go through during our adolescence about like trying to come up with an identity and figure out like, who am I? What do I want to be? Where do I fit in? What am I, I'm infatuated with this. I'm infatuated with the other thing. And
so if you're listening or watching the show and you've gotten this far with the spoiler warning and you haven't seen the movie, the thing is they all say that they're going to say the worst thing they've ever done, and they all say what it is and varying degrees of horribleness, but it comes around to Zendaya's character, and she says, when I was 15, I thought about and planned a school shooting, a mass shooting, but then did not go through it. And through the story, it's very clear she stopped because she got friends that pulled her out of the situation, which is not, I think, an uncommon thing for people who have dark thoughts as a young person, that when they finally hit that part of adolescence where they start to make their friends and find out that they're not alone, that their world changes. But the people in the movie cannot move past the fact that she thought this. And there's an interesting foil in the movie where she's like, we need to move past it. We need to pass it, like this judgment that you've passed on me. But at the same time, Emma won't move past the judgment of the DJ that they think they saw smoking crack on the side of the road.
Which, by the way, how funny was the replacement DJ?
Yeah,
like that was spot on. That was written so.
Gearhead?
That was written so well, right? The replacement DJ was so out of touch with what was happening in the room, right? And he didn't care. Anyway, I agree with everything you just said. Fascinating.
I liked this movie. I thought it was simultaneously a little hard to watch. Yeah.
What did you think about the whole thing about Robert Pattinson's character having a breakdown and and cheating on Emma?
I mean,
basically,
I think that happens.
He had a breakdown at work, and while he was being comforted with a hug, he turned it into a kiss, and
she leaned into it too.
And she leaned into it, and they were gonna like have sex, and then he like came to his senses and ran away crying.
Right.
And then she was like, I can't believe you ripped my shirt.
Yeah, that was really funny. I can't believe you ripped my shirt off. Right. I felt like it was kind of realistic. I think that's how a lot of relationships happen.
What was the best part of this movie? I have an easy answer for this.
I don't know. I think that line when she walks away, she's like, I can't believe you ripped my shirt off, was probably the one I laughed at the most.
Well, that was definitely the funniest line.
Yeah.
The best part of this movie was the ending.
Yes.
So they go through all this crazy chaos. It's nothing but judging and crying and misunderstanding and not communicating and, all these awful things, fist fights, all this awful stuff. And then while they're planning the wedding, they're like, after the wedding, it would be hilarious. We should like go to this Aiden's diner, all in our tuxedo and wedding gown, and eat burgers, because that's like after the Oscars. That's what famous people do, which I thought was great, because I'm sure you saw the footage of Michael B. Jordan going to the In-N-Out Burger after he won Best Actor, and all in his tux, exactly what they were talking about in the movie. And then, so this movie goes on, and it's very sad, not sad, it's uncomfortable and chaotic and tense. And then at the end of the movie, Robert Pattinson goes all beat up and bloodied in his tuxedo to the diner and gets a cheeseburger and a Diet Coke, sits down at this booth and, sort of hopes that she shows up.
Yeah.
And you as the viewer are also really hoping that she shows up.
Yeah.
And sure enough, she does. And you can tell from the scene that they're good. You know, they're sort of like, okay, we love each other, all's well, we're here in this diner. Because she's a mess too. She shows up in her gown and all these problems, and the two of them just chill and have a burger. Yeah, and try to start over. And I thought there was no other acceptable way to end this movie. And the fact that the ending was so solid is what made the movie good for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll say that I liked this movie. I would recommend it if you like this kind of drama. I think that while watching it, I thought, this is exactly the type of movie that I would have had my pinky out for watching on DVD, like discovering 5 years after it came out.
Yeah.
And I really felt like it was really intense. When the movie was over, I said this, and I know this is counterproductive to general programming that we provide, but one of the things I said, I think I would have enjoyed this movie a lot more on a small screen. I felt that it was too intense. Like I was too in it.
Yeah.
And I was too much a part of it as opposed to watching it. And that's a personal thing for me. And I don't often have that feeling towards a movie, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, so the drama.
Best
movie I've ever seen.
I'll give it best movie I've ever seen.
Okay. Next week, or a couple weeks from now.
No show next week, but the following week.
April 26th. Over Your Dead Body or Michael?
Over Your Dead Body.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That stars Jason Segel.
And Tamara Weaving?
Samara Weaving, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be good. Okay.
All right. And that is all the stuff we have for their movie. You ready to get on?
Please.
You know what? It's the wrong one. You know why? You know why the whole review fell off?
Because you didn't play that before the review. Right, after the news.
In my head, I got the two confused.
So, okay.
Yeah, it was after the movie trailers. Yeah.
Now it's time for listener feedback, which we alluded to at the opening of the show.
Yes.
I'm trying to put my hand out less because I watched a clip the other day of you of us, and when I put my hand out too far,
it block me.
It's in the picture.
Yeah.
Like so. Do they like that?
You're blocking A-cam.
Oh God, not A-cam.
Yeah, come on.
No, I think that's A-cam is in the middle.
Let's be
I think
real.
that's C-cam. But I really have no idea. All right, so first up, we alluded at the top of the show. David said, and I'm David Moulton, and I said, and then like dragged it out because.
Please come home. I got beans and bologna.
That's right.
Tony Baloney wrote in.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to.
And I didn't know if you wanted to run it back.
No, you want me to?
Yeah.
Do it again.
I know how you like to play them over and over.
Yeah.
So Tony Baloney wrote in and said, there I was listening to the Penn Cinema podcast. I felt like the whole note, like he came at me.
Yeah.
Right? Wouldn't you agree with that general tone?
I think it was aggressive.
Okay. Tony Baloney writes in.
Do you want to read it in like an aggressive tone? I can do that.
I don't, but I want to hear what you're coming up with.
Okay.
So there I was listening. Nope, that didn't work. It worked for you. That's scary. Make it stop. All right. Tony Baloney wrote in and said, so there I was listening to the Penn Cinema podcast. Now, typically, Tony's a good one.
Yeah.
He understands how we like to reverse things. We like people to say, there I was listening to Penn Cinema podcast, minding my own business, listening to the Penn Cinema podcast.
Right.
That's the correct way to state it, but we'll let it slide.
This time.
Tony writes in and says, so there I was listening, all caps, to the Penn Cinema podcast because I could not watch it. I could not watch it because I was listening to it.
Whoa.
That's some circular logic.
That is some circular
we'll let it
logic.
ride. So I listened to an older episode and I noticed something very subtle, but listening to the end of the old episode and the new one back to back, the ending of the show, I hear David really commit to the "I'm David Moulton."
Yeah.
You hear the cheeks slapping, the rattle in his voice, air changing pitch. And if you slow down the video, it's a whole experience. You might even see spittle flying out.
Yeah.
Then it gets to Penn, and it seems so half-hearted. I see no cheeks, no spittle, no clapping of flesh as Penn says, "And I'm Penn Ketchum."
You want to give it a good try right now?
Okay.
Well, no, it won't work. I forgot I haven't. You want me to do it?
No.
Oh.
In the older podcasts, what are you going to do?
And I'm David Moulton.
That's so hard to hear. I don't know. In my headphones, it's like...
It's crazy. It'll be quieter.
It'll be better in the... So anyway, yeah. So Tony goes on to say, in the older podcasts, you can hear Penn really throw himself into the closing. I feel cheated now. I spend a lot of money and time on this podcast, so I spoke to David about a refund.
You did.
How did that go?
I had to open the wallet.
Yeah.
I said, "Look, I'm sorry," and I dumped it out,
Right.
and then the little moth
The
flew
dust,
out.
the dust particles.
Yeah, and he said, "Good on you for paying up."
Yeah, good. We do offer refunds.
Yeah,
You know,
people should know.
yeah, absolutely. If you're unhappy with the show, podcast@penncinema.com, and we will be glad to refund everything you spent on it and more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 110% refund.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, I will say, okay, fair enough. I'm not going to, I hear what he's saying.
You know, I'm gonna say something lightheartedly here.
Okay.
People said you've changed. They said since we gone to video, you seem more reserved.
Oh.
And I said my boy is a little nervous. He's
Right.
People can see him now.
Right.
He can't be when you can't see him, he could be the clown all he wanted.
Right.
But now people are going to be like, "That's the clown."
That's the guy.
Yeah. I said, "I get it." Me
That's
too.
interesting. That's interesting feedback. Tony goes on to say, by the way, I do hope they separate Dune and Doomsday. I think it would be only fair to the presenters, meaning the studios. They deserve to make money, and I think that by releasing these on the same day hamstrings the presenters. This seems like a studio war. Salami forever, Tony Baloney, no ham.
Wow.
I love that.
Now, hold on a second. I got to
Yeah.
make sure that this is set up.
Oh, yeah.
Because I did set it up, and it should be okay. We have another listener who wrote in,
Not a new listener.
not a new listener.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
Huntington Valley guy,
Huntington Valley guy.
our
writes
favorite
in.
boxer.
Our favorite boxer wrote in and said, first off, what the hell is a popcorn margarita and where do I get one? Or is this another one of those Lidditz only things?
I had one last night.
Did you?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Was it? Yeah. We're getting incredible feedback.
Yeah.
People love the popcorn margarita.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm just like you. I don't drink very often.
Right.
So there was a bit of it that I was like, this is a drink.
So what's funny about it is people hear about a popcorn margarita and they're like, that sounds gross.
It's not. It's not. It's one of those things where it's like, it's definitely tastes like popcorn, but it doesn't taste like just butter or just pop. It's. I don't know how else to explain it. The name fits without it feeling like it's too much of anything.
Yeah. What we have consistently heard is I got it to be funny and now I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. A good description I heard is somebody told me it tastes like popcorn jelly bellies. Remember those jelly beans?
Yes, that's a great example.
Yeah.
And I watched him put it together, and he was doing, I'm assuming it was the popcorn, and it was like the tiniest drop went
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. I mean, that's an intense flavor
Yeah.
for so little.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Huntington Valley guy, our favorite boxer, goes on to say, do you remember, David, a few episodes ago?
Wait. Before we move on,
Yeah.
we should go into some Penn cinema history here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, hit me.
Huntington Valley almost had a bar.
Huntington Valley has a bar.
It's there.
Yeah.
But what's going on? What's up?
The difference is, so Wilmington is in the state of Delaware.
Okay.
So Penn Cinema Riverfront, Delaware has a liquor license called.
But this is Huntington Valley. Oh, it's in the. Okay,
I'm giving you context.
Okay.
Wilmington has a liquor license called a movie theater license.
Okay.
Literally designed so that movie theaters in Delaware can sell liquor and beer. So easy peasy. We have a small bar in Wilmington. We sell drinks. It's great. It's whatever. Lidditz has a full-blown restaurant liquor license, which basically means we can. So Lidditz, of course, is in Pennsylvania. Lidditz and Huntington Valley are both in Pennsylvania. Lidditz has a full-blown restaurant license, which literally means it's a full-service bar. You sell whatever you want. Huntington Valley, we partnered with a local Pennsylvania-based distillery. So what that means is that we are one of their satellite licenses, which means that we can only serve. They basically are running the bar in our theater.
Okay.
And we're limited. We can only sell like Pennsylvania beer and spirits.
Got it.
And there's some ratios that we have to hit. We have to sell more spirits than beer or something like that. So that's the difference. So that's why in Huntington Valley, we don't have a full-on bar like we do in Lidditz, and that's why we don't have barbacoa and margaritas in Huntington Valley.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
we have 3 locations and 3 different types of licenses.
That's not confusing at all for anyone.
No, it's super easy to keep track of.
Straight and simple.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you were going on.
Yeah, so anyway, our favorite boxer goes on to say, and so David, do you remember a couple episodes ago, I said something, I had reason to use the word John.
Yeah, I think I remember you accosting my childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love how you have such a great memory. you should weaponize your memory.
I should weaponize my memory.
And when we talked about it, I made reference about how Orlando Bloom has some kind of problem with me using John.
Yeah, that's Marley's boyfriend.
Marley's boyfriend, Orlando.
Yeah.
Who also, by the way, is now claims to be a big time listener.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we'll see if he writes in or not. Podcast at penncinema.com.
I met him the one time.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's the best. But anyway, so we talked about me using the word John because I really like that word.
Right.
It's fun to use.
Right.
But I know it's a Philly thing.
And you're from, I'm sorry, what part of Philly?
Right, Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. The suburb of Philly,
Right.
Brooklyn, New York.
Exactly. So our favorite boxer goes on to write, and Penn, shame on you for using the word John. That word is reserved for those of us from the area and the close outskirts of the city. When we were growing up, no one in Philly used this word, and it's bad enough that the locals use it, and it's worse when people from Lidditz use it. You clearly have a better vocabulary than that. I think when he wrote this...
He didn't realize that you don't have a better vocabulary than that.
First of all, he didn't realize I don't have.
Yeah.
I think he got together with some of my teachers from middle school.
Yeah.
Because they frequently said to me, Penn, you can do better than this. We expect better. You're smarter than this. Which was never true, but they constantly said it.
He's right, though. I know I made a big play on it,
Yeah.
last time.
Yeah.
But they never said that when I lived in Philly.
Well, I think it's one of those things like, it's cool until, like, you can tell that it's no longer cool because it has trickled down to the dad in Lidditz who's like saying it.
6, 7.
Right, exactly. Like, so now that I'm saying it, you know that it's no longer cool.
Right.
Like, that's your sign. So anyway, yeah. So shout out to Huntington Valley guy, our favorite boxer. Appreciate him listening and writing in. If you would like to be part of the show, you can write in.
Yeah.
Podcast at penncinema.com. Now, I believe, David, this new email that we just started, podcast at penncinema.com, does this have the international capacity?
It does.
It does.
So we need to hear from our international friends and family. And that's at our new international email, podcast at penncinema.com.
Right.
We started it mostly because we did that bumper,
Yeah.
the policy thing.
Right.
And we figured now's the time.
Right. It's a perfect time.
Yeah. For the new email.
And when you say international, is Canada international?
Canada is international.
Shanghai? Singapore?
Singapore is.
Ireland? What about Ireland? They probably need a special address.
Need a special one. Australia.
That's probably why our friends in Ireland.
Iran.
That's probably why our friends in Ireland have never written in.
Yeah.
It's the only, except for the guy who lied to us. The only explanation could be that they need a special Irish. We need to come up with podcast Irish style. pencinema.com. And then they'll write in.
Then they'll write in.
Right.
Here's my question. Does California need its own?
Right.
Because California now has more downloads than Pennsylvania,
Oh, snap.
where we're located.
Oh, my God. What if the studios are listening?
I guarantee you.
There's no way.
There's no way. I deal with this guy enough during the week.
I
I'm not
promise they're
listening
not.
to this podcast.
Okay.
All right. You know, with the new email, it's kind of crazy. I've already gotten a ton of emails, and they're all asking the same thing.
Right.
Every single one of them wants to know, Penn,
Yeah.
what's up with you? Whoa!
Right on
the
time.
spin.
Right on time.
That's pretty crazy.
What's up with me, David, is, well, as you know, I'm an avid reader.
Yeah, clearly. You're just burning through that book?
I'm just burning through that book. I actually did, after last week, get a good chunk done.
Yeah?
I mean, I'm up to like chapter 24, 25, something like that.
That's
you know,
like double your...
that's like 12
that's
pages.
double your,
right
your
there.
input, yeah.
I love reading this book because you sit down to read it and like 10 seconds later, you're on a new chapter.
Yeah, the chapters are real short. Yeah, but they're fun.
I am thoroughly enjoying the book.
Which is?
And I'm sorry.
For those who don't know.
For those who don't know, David has shamed me. That's not true. That's not what happened.
No, I was talking about how I was reading this book, and you were like, hey, is that a bandwagon? Maybe I can make this jump. And so we're actually kind of like midway jump right now. We'll see if he lands it.
I fully landed it.
Okay.
I think the open question is whether or not I deserve my
If he
spot.
falls off.
Right. The proof will be in the transcontinental flight.
Oh.
I'm bringing the book with me. I intend to read it on my trip.
Have you gotten to part 2 yet?
No.
Yeah. No.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now you're liking it. Tell us what's going on. Tell people anything.
Yeah. Anything.
Or what you're liking about it. Just what you're liking.
No, that's fine. I like the two characters. I mean, I like the cat and I like Carl.
Yeah.
You know, the two of them have great repartee. I just watched because maybe that's why I like it, because it feels like you're reading it. It feels like you're watching a movie.
Yeah.
I just watched the scene where he stole all the TNT and blew it up with a timer, but he had to like get away before it would blow up, and he killed another neighborhood boss, and he's like, you know, running around and you know, that kind of thing. He has that janky bicycle that's powered with a steam engine, I think, if I'm reading it correctly. And he has to keep stealing coal from a mountain, and he tried to steal as much as he could without making it obvious that it was missing, like that type of stuff. So it's a science fiction book.
Did you get past the babies part?
Yes.
And the thing is, I thought it was funny where it's like achievement. Was the moment that you thought you hadn't killed the babies.
Right. Yeah, that was weird because for a quick minute, unlike the rest of the book, for a quick minute it was a little bit heavy.
Yeah.
Because he fights these babies and kills all of them. No, he's not fighting them. He kills a bad guy who's in a room with all these babies.
He doesn't know the babies are there.
He doesn't know the babies are there. And so he's pretty shook up because he killed them.
Yeah. And then the reward was like, don't worry, they got teleported out. And then it said, no, that was a lie.
Yeah.
And your reward was this couple of seconds that you thought that you hadn't killed the babies.
The girls and I also finished Extracted.
That's the Chris Hemsworth?
Extracted is the trash TV on Hulu reality show. And on Marley's recommendation, Marley and Will are recommending that I watch Something Very Bad Is About to Happen, which is a scary show on Netflix. It's super scary. I'm completely addicted to it, except I have one complaint. I don't know if you've ever experienced this. You're watching a show and you're really into it because it seems to be really good, but you're also kind of hating it because, like, is something going to happen?
Yeah.
Like, I still don't know what we're doing. I'm solidly into the 4th episode and I still don't know, what are we doing? What's going to happen?
What's the deal?
Are you familiar with the show?
No.
Okay.
But I know what those shows are like.
Yeah.
They're like, everyone's like, they're so great. And you're like, well, if it's so great, when does the ball drop?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, David, all of this has been fascinating and insightful.
Yeah.
But it leaves me wondering one thing. what's up with you?
Let me tell you what's up with me. Invincible, the show, continues to be amazing. And every time a new season of this show comes out, I feel like I really want to read the series again. And I haven't, but I think I might get closer and closer to it. But I got a bunch of other books to read first. I'm also really close to finishing Jedi Survivor, which it's not a great game, but the story in it is like, gosh, I wish the Star Wars movies were like this, because it's such a good story. So I'm almost done with that. I'll probably finish that this weekend. And today I will finish Carl's Doomsday Scenario, which is book 2 of the Dungeon Crawler set. Now, I would have finished it last night, but someone wanted to record this podcast at the crack of dawn, 10 a.m.
Right.
And they were like, this is doing this so early in the morning. And I was like, after watching the movie last night, I was like, got like 80 pages left. I would love to read this.
Nope.
And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to be a good boy and do the notes and go to bed.
Good job.
And I did it. And so I have to finish it today. But I am really enjoying it. Book 2 is fantastic. The pacing of this series is so crazy, because I feel like so much happens in book 1, and then book 2 is just one of the thing that they do multiple times in the first book.
And your book, there's 8 books.
There's the 8th book comes out next month.
So
and they're planning 10 total.
So the over-under.
Yeah.
Who finishes first? Ken with book number 1, or David with all 8 books?
With all 8 books.
My money's on David.
That's because I'm almost doing like one-ish every week and a half. So we'll see. They do get longer though. And my mom was over for Easter, and she looks at because I bought all the books.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's like, oh, those are those books. And I said, yeah. She's like, Pen's got a lot on his plate. You think he does it? And I was like, we'll see if he finishes the first one.
I'm not committing to book 2 through 8.
I don't think
But I am thoroughly, if you're a reader, I can't recommend this book enough.
I mean, it might end on a cliffhanger enough for you to read the next one. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not no pressure.
Or it might end up on enough of a cliffhanger for me to say, hey, David, what happens next? Or just do my usual and wait for it to be a movie.
Yeah. Well, you just wiki it. But that's more reading, and you don't have time for that either.
That seems like a lot of work.
So that was it.
Okay.
All right, look, that brings us to the end of the show. We want to thank everyone for being here. If you want to be a part of the show, look, the best way to do that is to go ahead and email us at our brand new international email, podcast@pencinema.com. As podcast@pencinema.com. You can write us in, comment on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or wherever. We'll see it. But if you want to support the show, Pen, what's the number one way people can do that?
We have a very specific task this week.
Oh, really?
What we want people to do is contact Variety and be like, listen, that article was cool.
Yeah.
But it's nowhere near as good as the Penn Cinema podcast.
Yeah, do an article on theaters that have podcasts.
Right. Do an article on Penn Cinemas that have podcasts.
There's 3 of them.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're not into contacting incredibly wonderful, widely read entertainment magazines, then just tell a friend how much you enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Maybe they have a magazine.
Right.
You never know.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. Well, once again for the Penn Cinema podcast, I'm David Wilson.
And I'm Penn Ketchum. Take care and party on.
Thanks for joining us this episode. Our hosts would love to hear from you. To contact the show with your thoughts and reviews, email podcast@penncinema.com. This podcast is a production of Penn Cinema. Escape to the movies at Penn Cinema, featuring crisp digital projection, killer sound, reserved seating, and premium power recliners. With locations in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Wilmington, Delaware, and Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania. Showtimes and tickets available at www.penncinema.com.